Hi, we're going to do 3-2 today. This is still just dealing with percents. It's just applying it to a real world situation. And we went over last week proportions and equations. Looking over homework, it looked like about half of you were proportions and half of you were equations. Here's an example done out of a missing percent, but remember we have three different parts. We could be missing a part, a whole, or a percent. Let's look on the first problem. We left off on our notes last week on 16. Chili's adds a 20% tip to any group over 8 people. That's useless information. The tip alone was $30. What was the bill for food and drinks? So the implied question here is $30 is 20% of what? The tip alone was the $30. So that's the part. Okay. So this $30 is 20% of what is the implied question. If I'm doing the proportion method, I'm going to place my percent first. My portion method uses is over of equals percent over 100. The 20 would go here. The 30 is an is. And this is the of. You would cross multiply and divide. When I cross multiply this and this, I would get 3,000 for this diagonal and 20x for the other diagonal. The process is called cross multiply and divide. Divide by 20, and 3,000 divided by 20 over on my calculator. 3,000 divided by 20 is 150. Okay, the next question, the same question done the equation way. So this was showing it through a proportion. For an equation, we would go word for word. 30 is 20 hundredths of what? Word for word going across. Note, remember that percents need to be made into a decimal. Here, when they're on opposite sides, we divide. So we're working backwards to figure out what the whole would have to be. Okay, I divide by the number next to the x. Remember, you're not doing it both ways. You're doing it the way that was better for your brain. So $30 divided by 20 hundredths. Lo and behold, it also gives you 150. So each problem can be done either way. So at some point you're going to just ignore or skip over my video of showing it the way that you don't like. This is the proportion method. This is the equation method. When you're looking at the equation method, we need to remember that of is multiply and that is the equal. Remember this when you're using the equation method. Remember this when you're using the proportion method. So just skip over on the video to whatever part you want. When I sold my home, 2 real estate agents earned 6% on the sale of my $400,000 home. What is 6% of 400,000? I don't even have to do the implied question. It's for me right there. So line equal to line 100. This percent goes over 100. The 400,000 is the of. It's the of. This would be the x. I'm going to cross multiply, which would give me 2,400,000 equals 100x. How did I get this number right here? I multiplied those two numbers together. Multiplied those two numbers together. After I cross multiply, I divide by the number next to the x. Cross off zeros, and I would get 24000. It's a lot of money you have to pay when someone sells your house. Usually, a couple real estate agents and brokers and everything split this money. I should put a dollar sign out front. For the equation method, what, that's what, is 6%. That needs to be changed into a decimal. There's where the error usually occurs. 6% of 400,000. Okay, same side, multiply. Up here we divided because they were on opposite sides. Here I'm going to multiply, and I am going to do 600ths times 400,000. Gave me the same answers over here. Remember, this method's faster. Okay. Again, you're not copying it down both ways. You're copying down whichever method is better for you. This one right here, I'm really only going to do one way. It's very similar to this example up here. The tip on a $25 meal was $5. It's just part over whole. So Carl got a 17 out of 25 correct on a biology test. What was his test percentage? So the teacher would write 17 over 25, which means 17 divided by 25. 17 divided by 25 is 0.68 as a decimal. Change the fraction into a decimal. And now I'm going to change that decimal into a percent by timesing by 100. 68%. Let's go ahead and take a glimpse at these two problems down here. Which is going to earn you more money? Earning $17 per hour for 3 hours Friday and 5 hours Saturday. So let's see about that. So Friday, 3 hours times $17. And Saturday, 5 hours times $17. That's how they figure out hourly rate. So let's see, let's get a new line down here. And let's see, really, I could just say that that total was 8 hours times $17. That would be faster. So 8 times 17. He worked 8 hours overall at $17 an hour, which is 136. And then what would be better? That or earning 12% commission on this much of sales. 12% of, okay, so that would be, 1200ths times 1400. Times 168. Okay, so this would give him more money, making the 12% commission. As long as he can get this much in sales, he would make better money doing this way. Let's go back over there. 20% tip, it must have been a $150 meal. Okay, 20% tip. The implied question here is 30 is 20% of what? This one right here, the implied question was written out for you. What is the 6% of 400,000? Proportion method or equation method? Faster, easier. Carl's test, he got 17 out of 25. So we divide and we convert that into a percentage. Hourly wage, you multiply. I did a shortcut here of adding the total hours up. And this one here, we multiply. No equal sign in here. It's just 12% of 1400. Go back, rewind, rewatch.